All right, here's part 2 of word problems using fractions. So start with this one. There were some apples in a box. Okay, so let's make a box. 1/5 of them were bad. So imagine we've broken them up into 5 equal parts and 1/5 of them were bad. So this is 1/5. That's bad, this bit here. That's 1 part out of 5. And then we know that the box was still 2/5 full of apples. So 1/5 are bad, and the box still has 2/5 apples after 20 of the good ones were sold. But since we know it's 2/5, so let's break it into 2/5 here, and we know that the apples left are 2/5. So these are the 2/5 that are left, 1/5 that are bad. That means the remaining 2/5. Won't the remaining be 2/5? Yes. So it says after 20 of the good ones were sold. So these must have been the ones that were sold. These are bad, and after these were sold, which is 20, these are 20. That means if this is 20, that means each one of these are 10. So we've actually solved the problem. We know that each fifth is 10, so altogether you've got 5 tens. So how many apples were there at first? Inside this box, you had, add them all up, you had 50 apples. How many apples were there at first? 50 apples. So we worked it this way using common sense. We can also show it mathematically through a grid. So let's make that grid again. There were some apples in a box. We don't know how many, but we do know that 1/5 of them were bad. So we'll just record here what fraction were bad. The fraction bad was 1/5 of the entire box. We also know that 20 of the good ones were sold, so we know how many were sold. We know that 20 were sold. The quantity sold were 20. And we know the box was still 2/5 full of apples. So the fraction of apples that are left is 2/5. 2/5 of the apples are still there, and 1/5, of course, are bad. So if we want to know what fraction was sold, well, let's find out how many are already inside the box. Inside the box, you have 1/5 and 2/5. So if we add them up, we'll know that 3/5 of the apples in the box are still there. Now, whatever number of apples there are in the entire box, if you take away 3/5 of it, then how much is left? What fraction is left? Out of the total, 3/5 are gone. How many fifths are left? Well, obviously, 2/5 of the box is still sold. And we know the quantity sold is 20. So 2/5 of the box must be equal to 20. Now you imagine the multiply sign there, and you know how to do this. 2/5 times box is 20. So how much is the box? 20 divided by 2/5. And you flip it over, multiply, and you get the answer 50 using the math. So here's another one. When I poured 3/4 liters of oil in a can, it was 2/3 full. Look at all the information here. I poured 3/4 liters of oil in a can. So this is what I've got my oil in, and I'm going to pour it inside a can. That's my can. 3/4 liters of oil in a can. So that's the quantity, that's the amount of oil I'm pouring in. So I tip it over and I pour it in, and it's 2/3 full. See? If I break it into 3 parts, 2/3 get filled. So we know that this is 3/4 liters from here, and it's also 2/3 of this can. So 3/4 liters and 2/3 full. And we need to know how many liters of oil can the can hold. Well, look at this bit here, this empty piece here. Isn't that half of this? Isn't it half of 2/3? This is half of these 2/3. 1/3 is half of 2/3. So we're showing this to be half of this. Now, if we say 3/4 of the liters are full, and this is half of this, then half of 3/4 liters, right? Because this is 3/4 liters. These two together are 3/4 liters. So half of 3/4 liters must be this bit here. If you work it out, it actually comes to 3/8 liters. If you multiply across this way and this way, you'll get 3/8 liters. So we know that this bit here is 3/8 and this bit here is 3/4 liters, not fractions. 3/4 liters, that's the quantity. So altogether, if you add them up, how many liters of oil could the can hold? Well, if we add these two, we'll know altogether how much does it come to. Well, 3/8 plus 3/4, this is like 6/8. So if we convert it this way, it comes to 9/8 liters, which means 1 whole liter and 1/8 liters. That's how much this whole can hold. So that's one way of thinking about it. If you want to do it through math, well, it's actually easier through math. When I pour 3/4 liters of oil in a can, so I pour 3/4, notice if I fill it in this way, then it's 3/4 liters is this, and it's 2/3 full, which means this is 2/3 of a can, which means 2/3 of the can must be equal to 3/4 liters. That means 2/3 of a can takes up 3/4 liters. If you show this as multiply, then we've got the same old paradigm. 2/3 times something equals to something. What is this unknown? Well, divide 3/4 by 2/3 and then flip it over to multiply, and we get 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 2 is 8, 9/8 liters. That means this can holds 1 1/8 liters. So this holds 1 1/8 liters. Great, you got that? Let's look at this one. My jug can hold 3 liters. Okay, here's my jug. It can hold 3 liters of water, and my glass can hold 3/5 liters. So this is my glass. It holds 3/5 liters of water. Now I pour 10 jugs and 20 glasses of water into a tank. Okay, let's draw the tank first. That's my tank. Now I'm going to pour 10 jugs, 10 of these. It has 3 liters, right? So if I tip it over and pour it, that's 3 liters. But I'm pouring 10 of these, so 10 times 3 liters. So when all of it's poured down, this obviously is 30 liters of water inside the tank already. Because 10 jugs is 30 liters. I've poured 30 liters of water already in the tank. Okay, now I pour 20 glasses of water. Now each glass is 3/5. So 20 of these glasses, if I tip it over and start to pour, then I pour 20 times 3/5 liters. If you work it out, it comes to 12 liters. So I actually poured 12 liters on top of the 30 liters. So altogether I have 30 liters and plus 12 liters, I have 42 liters of water in the tank already. You got that so far? Now look at this information. The whole tank can hold 60 liters of water. From here to here, from top to bottom, it can hold 60 liters. And it's already got 42 liters. So what fraction is empty? Well, if you know how many liters are empty, that's easy to find. The liters that are empty is this bit. And this bit is 60 minus 42. So from 60 you take away 42, what do you get? That's right, 18 liters. So this bit, the empty bit, is 18 liters. And what fraction is this of the total tank? Well, it's obviously 18 out of 60, because the total tank capacity is 60. 18 out of 60 reduces to 3/10. So what fraction is still empty? Well, 3/10 are still empty. But let's look at this question. There's one more question here. How many more glasses of water will be needed to fill the tank? To fill the remaining 18 liters, how many glasses of water do you need? Now, 1 glass of water holds 3/5 liters. It means how many of these glasses of 3/5 fill up 18 liters? Or how many of these make 18 liters? How do we do that? How many 3/5 make 18 liters? That's really what we're asking. So if you divide 18 liters by 3/5, you'll get the answer. Flip it over, and the answer is 30 glasses. There you go. Now, the first question, how do you do it mathematically? Actually, it's not all that complicated. If you want to do it just with numbers, think about it this way. My jug can hold 3 liters, and my glass can hold 3/5 liters, right? So we know that this is what goes inside the tank. 10 jugs and 20 glasses of water goes inside a tank. So we can say that the amount poured in the tank is, from the jug, it's 10 times 3 liters. And with the glass, it's 20 times 3/5 liters. So we know the amount that can be poured in the tank. So that comes to 30 liters. And this, we work it out, it comes to 12 liters. If we add them up, we poured 42 liters in the tank. So we already figured that out. Now the tank can hold 60 liters of water. So it holds 60 liters. That means this is 60. So, and how much is empty? This has been poured. The empty amount would be from the full tank, you take the difference, take away 42, and that's the amount that's empty. And if this is the amount that's empty, what fraction is empty? That means 18 liters is what fraction of the whole tank of 60 liters? Reduce that, and you get 3/10. So you can work it out just using numbers. So that's how we look at word problems. Go over all these word problems on your own and see if you can find some new ones in the book. So when you work on it on your own, figure out what's the information that's been given, what's the information that's missing, start recording everything that's been given, and think of how are you going to use it. Do all the planning in advance. Keep your mind on the goal. You need to know what the solution is. How are you going to use all those bits of information? Now, if you organize it very carefully, you'll find that it helps you think about it very easily. And it'll lead you to the right answer. Take care. Have a great day. And bye-bye.